Hello, it's good to see you, and welcome to the Great CICO Experiment, otherwise known as the Get Ripped on the Standard American Diet Challenge. All right, we're going to start this challenge at 217 pounds. So, not terrible, not great. Dad bodding around to start. So this flies in the face of everything that I have been training my body for, researching, following, believing for the past 10 to 12 years as somebody interested in health, fitness, and bodybuilding, where I've been following a diet that consists mainly of lean proteins, starchy, healthy carbohydrates, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, all of that, and meal planned out for the past 10 to 12 years. So this experiment is going to challenge all of that for me, mentally and physically, getting ripped on the standard American diet. So what does that mean? Basically, I'm going to get to an extreme low body fat. I'm talking near stage level conditioning, ripped. Muscle definition everywhere, striations everywhere, abs, the whole bit, while eating what you would find in a typical normal American household. So, for example, instead of my normal breakfast, which would be eggs, oatmeal, blueberries, things like that, I might have frozen waffles. I might have eggs and bacon and toast. I might have a bowl full of cereal. We'll see. Whatever is more normal. But at the same time, I'm going to be controlling and counting the calories to prove in this experiment once and for all that it is calories in, calories out that gets you lean, and that it is possible to eat a non-super restrictive, hyper restrictive diet and get in shape. Now, this is not to prove that these are the foods that you should eat. I am going to be taking this somewhat to the extreme. I would much more recommend a low calorie, high volume, high density food if you're looking to diet. Can you make those foods delicious? Does it have to be extreme? Chicken, broccoli, fish, whatever? No, of course not. But at the same time, eating things such as sugary cereal or ice cream while on a diet trying to get lean probably isn't the best idea. This is going to be a challenge for me and one that I look forward to and am eager to embrace. Again, we're taking this to the extreme to prove a point, calories in versus calories out, that yes, as Mike Mincer said, as Coach Greg has said, as so many legends in this industry have proven, but have not done a full 12-week experiment on and documented everything, that calories in versus calories out is the main factor. So what are some of the rules for this challenge, getting ripped on the standard American diet? Rule number one, I'm going to be eating 3 meals a day and an optional snack if I'm hungry and feel like I need it. So the typical American diet follows breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then maybe throws in a snack or two as needed. So that's what I'm going to be following as well. Of course, this is going to be different than my typical 5 to 6 meals a day on my bodybuilder diet, so that in its own right is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see. I'm not going to be following any sort of crazy like intermittent fasting or carnivore diet type aspects. This is going to be standard, basic, average, what you would find in a normal household, or at least what my out of touch fitness self believes is average in a normal household. So 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Rule number 2, I'm going to be eating less than 2,000 calories a day to start. So this is a rather extreme deficit for me since I'm going to be eating some lower volume, higher calorie foods. This is going to be an extra challenge thrown in there. Some of my meals may look rather small to stay in that calorie balance, but that's where I'm going to start at. I want to see noticeable progress. I want to prove the point as fast as possible. I'm not looking to lose half a pound a week. We're looking to lose around 2 pounds a week as we're completing this experiment and getting lean, getting ripped. Starting weight, I've already mentioned here at the start of the video, is 217 pounds. So we'll see where we go from there in 12 weeks. So rule number 3, we're going to be getting at least 125 grams of protein per pound, or 100, not per pound of body weight, that would be so much protein. No, just 125 grams of protein a day. So this is also lower than my typical bodybuilding diet. I would eat around 200 grams, sometimes even more than that, of protein a day. So I've calculated and I am consuming enough protein that I can maintain my existing lean muscle mass. Hopefully, with the workouts and really pushing it, maybe even gain a little bit more. That's always the goal. So I'm psychologically amping myself for that, even if it's a little bit of a placebo effect. But that is 125 grams minimum of protein a day. This means that I will be incorporating supplements in my plan as well in order to maximize my results, just because some of my meals are going to be lower in protein. For example, if I eat a bowl of cereal as my breakfast for 400, 500 calories, even with the milk in there, you're looking at probably around 15 grams of protein. Now multiply that by 3, obviously that's not 125. So if I need a scoop or two of whey protein powder throughout the day to hit my protein goal, I will utilize that. Again, it is going to be utilized as a supplement to supplement my protein intake as needed. If I have a higher protein meal and I only need 1 scoop of whey protein for that day, that's what I'll do. Protein does count towards the total calories as well, so I have to keep that in mind mentally, that if I have a scoop of protein, then I'm drinking 150 of my allotted calories for the day to get that extra protein in. Not as much fun as eating it in the form of ice cream. So I'll use that as needed, but that is the third rule. I will also be supplementing with creatine, 5 to 10 grams a day, and a multivitamin as well, because I'm going to be eating significantly less fruits and vegetables than I normally would, and I still want to get those micronutrients. Is it as good as fruits and vegetables? No, but it is what it is for this experiment. Again, taking it to the extreme. So whey protein, creatine, and a multivitamin are going to be the supplements that I use daily throughout this experiment. Rule number 4, this is going to be a natural experiment. Now, if you've followed my bodybuilding journey in the past, I was a natural competitive bodybuilder for a number of years. I don't even know, maybe like 8 or 9 years. For my last competition, I did a year and a half, almost 2 years, where I did cycle on and off of a mild cycle in order to try and get my pro card at the Arnold Amateur. That competition was a little over 3 years ago now. I haven't touched anything since then, so while I will not say or claim that I'm a lifetime natural, I have been natural, if you want to call it that, for the past 3 years and 2 months or whatever it was since that March Arnold Classic that I competed. For those of you who are wondering, yes, I was much bigger back then. I was ripped, and I was still not enough to win the pro card. I believe I placed second to the person who ended up winning the overall and winning his pro card in Classic Physique. But he was phenomenal. I would have needed to take at least a year more probably of using gear, potentially upping the doses, and then if I wanted to be competitive as a pro, continue to do that, and on, and that's just not a route that I wanted to go down. No judgment to those who do, but just giving you a little backstory on that so everything is out on the table. So am I a lifetime natural? No, but for the past 3+ years, I have been natural. I haven't touched anything, so I feel like I'm back to baseline on that. So anyway, so the experiment will be 3 meals a day, less than 2,000 calories to start, 125 grams of protein a day minimum, doing this experiment naturally. And then the last rule is I'm going to get at least an hour of activity or exercise a day. So I am going to be continuing, obviously, with hard workouts to maintain or even build muscle. I've been incorporating and learning some calisthenics techniques as well. And then I'm looking to work on active mobility, stretching. I'll be doing bike riding, going for a walk, all things that I can try and fit in between my 3 jobs and family time. So that's another part of this plan, is the typical standard American isn't a fitness influencer who has the entire day to themselves just to work out and eat. So I'm going to be documenting this journey while I am working 3 jobs, 1 full-time and 2 part-time, as well as spending time with my wife, with my kid, traveling to visit friends and family, all that good stuff as well. So I'm excited to show you what is possible. I'm excited to see what my body can do. I'm excited to see what my mind can do with this challenge. And I'm excited to have you all follow along with me. All right, I am on my way to the store for the first shopping trip of this experiment. And I gotta tell you, I am actually a little nervous. It has been at least 10 years since I've intentionally done a shopping trip where a lot of the food choices were intentionally standard American, not healthy, whatever you want to label it. I typically have a meal plan in place. I'm going to get my chicken, my steak, my rice, my veggies, my fruit, and obviously that's not always typical of the standard American diet. So in following with the rules, we have a shopping list written up for week number 1, and it is ingredients that look, I'm sure, much more familiar to the average American household. But that's got me a little shaky-handed thinking about eating. But hey, it's all part of the experiment, and I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. So let's see what we can find. All right, here we go. So entering the store, it started off not too bad because the produce aisle is first, and we got some apples. An apple a day keeps the doctors away. Those are pretty healthy. We got a rotisserie chicken, so I can have some of that for dinner, maybe with baked potato, or maybe put that in some pasta. Got some potatoes for those baked potatoes. So far, looking like a fairly typical shopping trip for me. Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad. Then we moved in and got some bread for toast and sandwiches. And this was not the low-carb bread. This was not gluten-free bread. This was regular white bread. Then we moved into the pasta aisle. So many choices, regular, shells, elbows, bow tie. We decided to go with elbows. Give that macaroni and cheese feel. Speaking of which, macaroni and cheese will probably be on the diet sometime soon. So we got some of that. And of course, with pasta, got to get some sauce, tomato, basil, and garlic. Already got some Parmesan cheese at home, so I'll add that. Then came breakfast, the cereal aisle. Immediately, I wanted to go for Cheerios or Honey Bunches of Oats, something healthy, but most people go for taste. In the cereal aisle, I wanted Reese Puffs, so that's what I got. Eek. Then we moved on, got some stuff for peanut butter and jelly. Got ourselves some Jif peanut butter and some grape jelly. So we can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Also put the jelly on the toast if we decide to have that for breakfast as well. And no, we didn't do the half sugar, no sugar jelly. Got the regular sugar jelly. Then we moved in and got some bacon because bacon and eggs sounds good for a couple of the breakfast options. Normally I'll check every package to get the one with the least amount of fat. This time I didn't care. And then we moved on to get some stuff for sandwiches. We got a pack of turkey. We got a pack of roast beef. So that should be enough to give us 4 or 5 sandwiches throughout the week. Got some pepper jack cheese for a little extra flavor on those sandwiches. Get those jalapenos in there. Got some butter. Normally not on the menu for me, but now I get butter with my toast and with my baked potatoes. Got some eggs. Be doing far less eggs than normal now, but a couple eggs every other morning or so. No cracks, we're good to go. Got some milk for the cereal. I prefer 1% milk, so I know you might say that that's a little more on the diet side, but that's what I like. And then we visited the chip aisle. Some kettle cooked sea salt and vinegar. Normally I would get the half fat even for a treat meal, but this time no. Got the full fat. Delicious. And I felt like Coach Greg was following me at this point. He was like, "Get the popcorn!" And I had the chips. And it got even worse because most Americans have dessert on occasion, and some ice cream sandwiches were sounding good. So added that in for dessert. First shopping trip on this experiment, that's a wrap. Man, it felt like those people who check to make sure you're not stealing stuff on the way out of the store, I felt like they were going to check me and be like, no, sir, you can't buy this stuff. This food is not for you. And yet I've got it. Woo, what a rush. that's how a fitness person gets a rush, apparently. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this experiment. I know I keep saying that. I think I'm trying to convince myself, and really I am. But I guess I'm trying to convince myself that I'm not nervous, which I also am. But let's see what we can do. Oh, also, I haven't told my wife about this experiment yet, so she's gonna come home and be like, what the heck is all this food? Like Reese Puffs and ice cream sandwiches and pasta, like what? So maybe I'm a little nervous for that too. Just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm a man. I'm a man of the family, darn it. I wear the pants in the family. I think. And here is our haul. Bask in the glory. We got chicken, we got milk and cereal, we got chips, we got pasta sauce, we got stuff for sandwiches, bacon and eggs for the morning, we got butter for toast, we want that option, or for baked potatoes, peanut butter jelly time. Woo-hoo-hoo. And of course, if I didn't already mention it, the ice cream sandwiches. Let's see what our total was. All right, so our total was 70.43 minus the turkey that I got for my wife, because I'm not eating that healthy right now, which was $13. So that leaves us with about $57. $57 for meal number one was Reese's Puffs cereal. For the first time since I was a kid that I've had these, we had about 300 calories worth of cereal, 150 for milk, for 450 calories total.
Okay, it's recording good.
Meal number two, we got everything together for a roast beef sandwich and some chips. Measured everything out so that we got exactly 500 calories with the sandwich and the chips. Time for lunch. All right, so here is my meal. I have everything weighed out so that it is exactly 500 calories, and down to the gram of 28 grams of chips, which was giving me that 58 calories to put it over the top. Protein wise, we're looking at 25, 30, about 35 grams of protein. So not too bad towards our goal as far as these meals go. But let's see how it goes. It looks delicious, but it looks small and not filling for diet food. So sea salt and vinegar, the best. Very good sandwich too. A little dry. Might have to get some mayo next time. Though I know that'll mean I'll have to sacrifice more on the chips. So the tomato helps though. Good. Down to the last few chips. Food didn't last very long. Was delicious, but not very filling. So I'm gonna go drink a bunch of water. And yeah, this was my pre-workout meal. So on the Great CICO Challenge, we are going to be exercising 6 days a week. We're going to do 2 bodybuilding style weight workouts in the gym. We're going to be doing 2 calisthenic workouts where I practice calisthenic moves, learn another skill, a different kind of strength and body mastery. That will be a good challenge for me as well. And then 2 days that are going to be focused on mobility, hand balancing, and cardio, as well as flexibility. So every single day, I've got to get at least 60 minutes of activity. So today was a calisthenics day. So the muscle up is one of the skills that I'm focusing on right now. So I had to learn explosive pull ups, pulling the bar to the lower chest or even to the core, which is something completely different than I'm used to with the strict bodybuilding style pull ups. With those, I can strap on 50 pounds plus and do 10 nice controlled squeezy reps. With this, it's just a whole different ball game. We superset that with push-ups, working towards planche hold, so a little bit different than a traditional push-up. Been a while since I've done push-ups. I'm used to using bench press or chest press machines, so this was different as well. But we did 10 sets going back and forth between explosive pull-ups and the push-ups as well. We did 5 reps of the explosive pull-ups, so nowhere near failure, just trying to focus on the completely different technique. We also worked a little bit of core with some toes to bar. Need to work on that hamstring mobility and flexibility for sure so that I can keep my legs straight throughout this movement. But again, just a completely different challenge. I'm very strong in the gym when it comes to certain weights and movement patterns from bodybuilding. So calisthenics just provides me with an additional challenge. We supersetted the toes to bar with dips. So we did 5 sets of those. So altogether, we did 10 sets of the pull-ups and push-ups, and then 5 sets of the toes to bar and push-ups, pretty much without stopping. Then I got ambitious and tried to muscle up. Failed. Probably shouldn't have tried at the end of the workout too, and I can see now that my technique was really bad. So we need to get smoother with that. But hey, that's all part of the fun, all part of the challenge. We did a cheater rep here where I kind of jumped off the ground. Afterwards, we went for a post-workout treat in the freezer, some frozen blueberries, nice, fresh, and oh wait, that's not standard American. We're gonna have an ice cream sandwich and a protein shake. Delicious. Final meal of the day was some homemade pasta with some ground beef and sauce and some Parmesan cheese grated on top. I definitely missed something green there, so I know even in a standard American diet, still getting some vegetables, so next time I'll plate it up and have some broccoli or green beans or something on the side. But all in all, delicious meal. All right, that is going to wrap it up for day 1. I am on call tonight for my full-time job from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., so I am about to get ready for that. But we had a good start to the plan, good workout. Nutrition all went fairly smoothly. The only thing I noticed a little bit was a little bit of a headache throughout the day. I'm not sure what that might be from, whether it would be an increase of sugar or a decrease in calories or what. The main thing that I am curious to see is how my body will respond both to the deficit and to potential insulin. Bless you. My son down there beside me. And also to a potential insulin crash in the middle of the night, since I have been eating more sugars and carbohydrates with the lower calories. I may get super hungry throughout the night, especially if I am busy, but it is what it is. It is all part of the process, and I will document every step of the way and let you guys know how this is all going. So, but so far so smooth, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.